Welcome back, folks. This is another episode of It's About Payroll. We do not know what number this is. We're in the 160s. We're doing so many recordings. We don't know what number this is going to drop, but it'll be out soon. We got Today, we're joined by two powerhouse leaders in the earned wage access space from Rain, a company on a mission to eliminate payday lending and improve financial wellness through instant access to earned wages. First, we have our friend of the show, Aaron Martin, sales director at Rain. Aaron is a proven sales leader with deep roots in EWA industry, having held key roles at all the major players. He brings a hands-on expertise in helping organizations implement real-time pay solutions that boost retention, engagement and financial well-being. Joining him is Shohan Raman. Did I say that right, sir? All right. AKA Big Show, Vice President of Channel Sales and Partnerships at Rain, with over 20 years of experience in sales and leadership, including his previous role as Global Head of Strategic Sales at Square. Shohan oversees Rain's integrated and channel partnerships, driving growth and delivering value to employers and employees alike. Together, they bring a wealth of insight into the future of pay, the evolution of EWA, and how Rain is helping reshape pay experience. Welcome, Aaron and Shohan.
Welcome.
Brian, Paul, thank you so much, man. That was a great intro. You are the best in the business.
Thank you.
My second time on here, man. You guys are just getting better and better.
Thank you very much, man. We enjoy having you on, man. Great to meet you, Shohan. So, tell us a little bit about yourselves and Rain. Let's let Shohan go first, being that you're a veteran of the show, Aaron.
Yeah, and I'm excited to be here. I don't know if you guys know, but Aaron and I have known each other for a while because when I actually worked in Paycheck, so again, being in the payroll industry for a long time, Aaron was one of my top targets to try to get him to Paychecks when I met him.
Oh, wow.
In New Jersey. So we went through ride days, interviews, a lot of different conversations. Could never bring him onto my team. So when I left Paychecks and actually joined one of the other EWA providers as a competitor of ours, he was one of my first people that we brought in and built that enterprise program from the ground up. This is in 2019, 2020, right through the pandemic, etc. So Aaron and I have been really tight since then. And then for myself, leaving that industry, went to Square, did a lot of different cool projects at Square where I was able to be a part of the Afterpay acquisition and globally manage the SMB team there.
Nice.
Then built out channel sales, built out their enterprise sales, and focused on a lot of other strategic initiatives. Honestly, had an awesome role at Square, loved it. I just really missed the EWA space and really helping those individuals that need access to pay. So when I was ready to make a move, I knew I wanted to come back. I hit up one of the founders who I'm close with, actually worked for her a long time ago. So Rain and I have been in constant communication for years. And I was like, you know what? Looking at the company, looking at the product, looking at the people there, I knew this is the next place I want to be at. And I want to help build the organization for the future, which actually led me to Aaron again to be like, hey, let's do this together kind of mindset.
That's nice, man. So great segue, Aaron. What's good, man? What's been new since the last time you've been on?
Yeah, I think, and you see the Jordan wall behind him. I think I helped Shohan leap by a couple of those. We've worked together a while, but I think the kind of what we do in the earned wage access is important, but obviously the why is equally as important, right? So I think we talked a little bit about this last time, but our education system doesn't teach us the basics of finance, of how to handle our money, what debt looks like, how to build wealth.
Facts.
Doesn't really teach us those things. And so when I looked at this industry, it's something I really wanted to work in, but I was really fortunate because growing up, I had parents who taught me those things, right? My first job in high school was pizza delivery. And I did that and I just worked off of tips. And I can remember my father telling me, he goes, when you get paid, the first person that gets paid should be you. And I was like, what does that mean? That doesn't make any sense. What does that mean? He goes, just wait. As you get older, You're going to have all these different bills and obligations, and you're just going to pay, and you're going to be out of money. Make sure the first person that gets paid is you, and I'll show you how this works. So my first job working on tips, what my dad did, after every day delivering pizza, he made me show him all the tips I had in my pocket, and it was all cash, and he took half of that money away. And the entire summer, every day he put money away. Now I'm a 15, 16-year-old kid. I'm upset, right? Because I want to go to the movie, buy shoes and all this kind of stuff. And my dad was like, just wait. So at the end of the summer, I was done working the job. I told my dad I had to go back to school. I was done with the job. He showed me, and he had like $4,000 saved up for me just on my tip money.
Wow.
As a kid, I thought I was rich. I was like, I'm
You
getting a
balling.
Lexus truck,
You
I'm getting this,
balling.
and all this. And my dad was like, no, put it, now you put it in a savings account and let that money work for you. That was the first savings account I
Yes.
opened, still have it
Wow.
to this day. But I think when we think of like frontline workers in this country, right, like 78% of them are living paycheck to paycheck. They don't know how to save. They don't know how to budget. And that's why both Shohan and Rayhan, because it's a mission driven company where we're teaching employees and we're helping them be on better financial footing.
Awesome, man. That's a perfect segue for my first question for you. How does Rain help users balance flexibility while promoting financial literacy?
You want to
Yeah,
go,
I
Show?
mean, the thing I think Rain does well is really being there to plug the holes, right? First. And that's the first thing, right? Like Aaron had an amazing, like, upbringing where they taught him this and even forced him to save. But a lot of these individuals don't have that. And then I know Aaron just shared a story. I always share my story of like, out of college working and then couldn't pay bills and actually had to go to a payday lender. And when you go to a payday lender, it becomes a cycle. It's like
Oh,
literally,
horrible.
then you go back and
Yeah.
it's vicious
Predators.
fraud, and they
Yes.
you stay with it. It's such a industry that I'm shocked that we like even have like so many payday lenders around the corners targeting specific demographics,
Yep.
etc. Really bad, but that instead of going there, Rain plugs that hole so they have access to their pay that they've already earned. And when they're able to plug that hole and have that stress go away and don't have to go to these predatory places, now they can actually engage with Rain in a way to continuously learn and get that education that Aaron's talking about so they could grow and start saving their money, prevent all the things from happening so that way they can have that emergency rainy day fund ready. And
Yep.
then we even offer one-on-one financial coaching. We believe in it so
Really?
much that our customer service team that's in-house actually has people certified in financial planning so we could actually offer that advice if we needed to. That's how
Oh,
mission
wow.
driven we are, and a lot of people have that, especially in the
No.
space.
Yep.
So I think that's how the flexibility is plug that hole with that access that's so simple, and then you really focus on the financial wellness and engage and educate, so that way they become better with their money. The long term plan should be that they really don't need these to plug holes because they have a better understanding of how to manage their finances.
Wow.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, and that is a bit of a differentiator for you guys, right? Having that financial consulting and whatnot. How does that work for employees? Do they just go on the app and get it, or is it the employer have to pay for it? How does that work?
No, it's completely
Wow.
free. Anytime that an employee wants to get financial coaching, counseling, it's not an upsell. They're not pushing products. To Shohan's point, we're literally showing them how to get on better financial footing. I think the key is, and you guys both know this, right? Like, really, the timing and the access of funds is going to make
Yeah,
all the difference
for
for
sure.
employees, right? And when you think about how an employee grows within a company, if they can't solve for the immediate, they're not going to be locked in on
Nope.
their job, right? They're going to be worried about bills. They're going to be too worried about putting food
Yep.
on the table.
Mm.
One of the things that we have is the data and analytics around how employees are using this, and we share that with the employer. And the top three reasons that we see time and time again, they're using it for food, transportation, and to pay bills.
Yes.
It is the bare
Wow.
necessities, right? So imagine if you guys can't put food on the table for the day, you're not going to be worried about getting into
That's
work
right.
that day. What are you going to do? You're going to call out, you're going to try to do some gig economy thing just so you can solve for the
Yep.
immediate. So not only do we help them plug that hole, as Shohan mentioned, solving for the immediate, but we also pair them with a counselor so they can plan for the future.
Oh,
And that's
wow.
equally as important. What that does for the business is it leads to a more engaged and ready workforce. And that's really what we're helping to solve as well.
Wow,
And
that's amazing, man.
and a perfect segue. What's the typical aha moment for employers when considering Rain, right? For the decision makers at the client.
I'll just share again, being in the industry for so long and seeing it. I think it varies based on persona, right? We're talking about payroll folks, but there's payroll folks, there's
Could be
HR benefit
HR.
folks, there's total
Yeah.
rewards people, there's
Yeah.
Mhm.
compensation.
CFOs.
Exactly. And every single one of them, I think, have different like insights as well as like KPIs and aha moments. So I'll give you one like, and it really comes down to if they really care about their people. That's the big thing. Care about their people.
Yes.
It's hard to tell them like, look at all this benefit that you'll get. And we've seen that, especially when it was early in the industry. I think we're at a different point now where people are starting to see like, hey, this is actually a benefit that's going to stay. And I always say, like, when 401ks first came out back in whenever, before our time,
Yeah,
I bet you there was a lot of companies that didn't do it. And now,
absolutely.
30, 40, 50 years later, I don't work for a company that doesn't have a 401k.
Exactly.
Right. And I sold 401ks at Paychecks to small businesses because they need to get on that bandwagon to help people for retirement. So I think we're getting to the industry where it's becoming more of a aha anyways. But I think each person, when they truly see that they care about their people and see the employees and why they're using it, because they don't hear from employees all the time, hey, I need money. There are companies that they'll say, hey, I need a Payday advance, etc. But a good example, aha moment, working with this company, Gastro Health. It's fantastic. We just did a testimonial video. They wanted to reduce the 401k loans that employees had. And
Oh yeah.
people don't come and tell you, hey, I'm going to use a 401k loan.
Nope.
I've used it. I know how it works.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to tell
You
you.
don't need to tell anybody. That's right.
I can go online, do it right
You
there.
do it.
I'm actually like hurting my future by doing that and paying a lot of origination fees. And honestly, when you do it because of the fees, you take out more than you need because you can't take it more than once. So what happens is this company like Gastro Health gets basically everybody off of 401k loans, not even by pushing it,
Wow.
but just by offering something like Rain. And that's like a huge aha moment to them. Now, that's obviously later once they've already, rolled it out. But I think that's significant for them to see. But what I'm hoping happens is because this partner is telling us or employer is telling us about it, new businesses that we're talking to, they see this video and it's like, if because you can see who's using payroll deduction through 401k,
Yep.
you can make an impact and they can see these aha moments.
Go look at your data. Yeah. I mean, and
Yeah.
not only so I'm sorry if I cut you off. Well, that's a great data point that payroll and HR folks can help their companies understand, because I hadn't thought about that, right? I never thought about looking at how many people are on 401k loans and at it actually being something that could be solved for. So payroll pros and HR pros, they can look, oh snap, that's like an aha moment for them to like learn this new data point that I could actually have impact. Because what Walt and I are doing is like teaching folks, right? We always get the, oh, payroll and HR is an expense. You guys are just a cost center. Pause, because we help the money as well. Watch that cash register. So that's one more point there to add to that. That's dope, man. That's awesome. I love it.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, Aaron probably has more examples because
Yeah, I'll
Oh,
give you a
please.
quick.
Yeah.
I'll give you a quick, Brian. I'll give you an aha moment, and this happens, right? Like, so we talk to a lot of executives and a lot of CFOs that are like kind of one step removed from their
Yep.
frontline workers, and they all tell me the same thing. They say our people just have to be better with their money.
I
That shows a
remember that.
fundamental.
Yes.
It shows a fundamental misunderstanding
Big
of what the
disconnect.
economic impacts are. There are things like inflation that they can't budget for, right? You pay at the pump. One day gas is $2.25. Next day it's $3 per gallon. Well, they can't save for that. The groceries that they bought, they were $40 a bag. Now
Yep.
it's $60 a bag, right? And so oftentimes CFOs or leaders of companies, they are one step removed and detached from that. Every time we roll this benefit out to a new client, I always get the same response from the CFO who has first. They say, one, I wish I would have done this sooner.
Wow.
And then two, they never would have thought their employees were going to use it for these bare necessities. And they never thought that so many people would use it. Typically, we've got about a 45% adoption rate. And almost half of people are using it. And to Shohan's point, it's not that just they're using it for transfers, but they're using it for the financial counseling. They're using it for things like we have free tax filings within our app. So they're using it for a true financial wellness benefit. And that aha moment always hits, whether it's HR leaders, payroll, or CFOs. They all say the same thing. Like, I didn't think so many of my people would use this because we really don't talk about finances. It's a difficult conversation for me to go to my payroll person and say, hey, I got to put food on the table. Can I get a payroll advance?
Yeah.
What do we do? We suffer in silence. We withdraw from our 401ks. We put more money on that credit and be using, or even worse, we overdraft our bank accounts, right? And so when you offer this benefit and you give them access to the money and you give them all the tools, you'll see them using it, but it is a moment for a lot of leaders and companies.
Wow. And I had a light bulb moment recently because a company I work for uses it. It's the first time that it was there when I got there, and I was like, oh, cool, awesome, they got it already. But recently the integration broke down between the payroll and the EWA provider. And the reason I was alerted was because the employees were like immediately hitting us up like, yo, I can't get access, blah, blah, blah. Like they were just on it. And I was like, whoa, what is this? And that unfortunately went on for like 2 weeks before we, yeah, realized what the issue was. But in those 2 weeks, those folks were vocal. And mind you, on it's only 25% of our population is engaged in it and has it. Well, yeah, is active with it. But those 25%, they use it religiously. And it is made like to the point my HR business partner was like, Brian, we're going to start losing people if this doesn't get fixed. Like people come here to jobs just because we had like, that's a question during recruiting. Do you have EWA? If not, it's like, because we're retail, part-time, hourly based mostly. They can go to somewhere else and sell something else. You know what I mean? They're not stuck on. Some folks come for the candy, but right? It's not the only thing in town. So if you don't have EWA, it impacts us. So that was a real big aha moment for as a payroll pro to see how like impactful that was for my staff to see, like my staff, but our staff to see it, to like to you. And I was just like, holy crap. So it brought me, it brought me to a whole new level of respect for it. And I really love what you guys are doing, kind of rounding out the whole product as a wellness tool. I love that. And what was going to ask next was how seamless is the integration for the HCMs that you guys partner with? Or yeah, how does the integrations work, and any issues there, any friction?
No, I was actually going to say, if you guys had issues, you should talk to Rain already for
No
that.
doubt. No doubt. Yeah.
We have obviously great partnerships that we've put in place. One of the things that Rain has done a great job on is building the product the right way, because they started in the industry about 2019. So when other companies were already doing it for a little bit, they really were able to go, hey, what do we need to do differently compared to all the other people that does it the right way? And a lot of it is, yes, our model, the integration, the minimal data that we require, which we see as we're talking to healthcare organizations or, even finance folks. Like they don't want to provide so much data at all times. It could be a hack or,
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff that's happening nowadays. So
Yep.
minimal data, the right integrations, but yeah, very seamless with every organization that's out there already all set up.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the biggest players in HCM, payroll space, timekeeping space, we already have the pre-built solutions, but a level further, we're in the marketplaces of the ADPs of the
Cool.
world, but there are partnerships we have with Workday where we're actually the only
Oh,
EWA
I read
company
that.
built in the Workday.
Yes.
Yes.
Congratulations.
So
That's big.
the Workday experience for employees is the Rain
That's big,
experience, right?
man.
And so that makes it so much easier for them to get to access, and it is a flip of a switch for an organization that wants to.
I think,
That
Brian,
is
I'll just
awesome.
share on this partnership. The big thing is we're getting out there more and more, and that's really like what my team is set up to do, is really change that brand perception. Like Rain, we're in the marketplaces, but people might not be aware. So we're working directly with the partners to help them. But even some of these like Workday, people don't even know we're embedded into Microsoft Teams. So companies
What?
using Microsoft Teams has Rain built in that they can actually access and see their available balance. Like things like that we're going outside of the box and really changing the game. That's the next level that we're really focused on and excited, but we kind of are just slowly getting it out there so people know this.
That's awesome. That's big, man. Yeah. Look, and anytime if you guys if you guys like put out press releases, things like that, try to hit us up because we report on this stuff on all our, like at the beginning of the shows, we report on what's happening in the world, the bit in our world. So yeah, keep us updated, man. That's dope. I love the progress and the success, man. Congratulations. Walt, you want to take? Yeah.
Yeah, so Rain is actually shaping a new industry, right? What's your approach to navigating shifting
Yeah.
regulations
That's a big
across
one.
different states?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think we are as proactive as you can be with these conversations. I think the analogy that showed up before, the 401k analogy, I think it kind of rings true here. Earned wage access has reached such a critical mass, right? Some of the biggest employers across the country are using earned wage access. When you look at the Walmarts, the Targets of the world, Marriott, et cetera, you're talking about tens of millions of employees have access to this benefit. So all the regulations and the rules aren't going to adversely impact any of those markets just because there's too many employees. One of the things that Rain does is we want to, one, keep our fees low and give employees free options. We're here to combat all the predatory lending
Yes.
practices. So when you think of some of the legislation that's happened recently, it really is to combat some of those really high fees EWA providers. There are EWA providers that are more like credit products, or they're charging people upwards of $10 to get access to their
What?
money. That's not that's not what Rain is doing. We're trying to keep it low cost, and we have a lot of free options as well. So I think what the regulatory landscape is doing is they're trying to see what the classification would be if this is a loan or not. And really, it's not. It's their earned income. But really, what classifies a loan is the exorbitant fees. And Rain is ahead of that. And we have the most free option for transfers. But we're trying to make this so they get out of the debt cycle and it's not overly punitive for the employees. Joe, anything you want to add on the regulatory
Yeah, the
piece?
only thing I'll add, Aaron's spot on with that as far as what we're doing. But from the go-to-market perspective of like when we're talking to employers, our goal is to just be a trusted advisor to share. Same thing with our partners or the employers, to just be aware of what is happening and what we're doing. So that way we really let them make that educated guess or educated decision on, hey, is this right for them or not? But like we're very big on proactively sharing what's happening in every state, or if they have employees in the state, hey, this is what it's going on. This is what Rain's doing to ensure we have something specific for that state. So nobody that's working with us has to have any issues with state regulations or compliance.
That's awesome. So, guys, as we wrap it up here, and thank you so much, man, for coming on. The info is awesome. What do you think of the concept of payday? Is it going to go obsolete with EWA?
I think it's quickly becoming a thing of the past, right? Have you all ever gone out to dinner with a group of your friends and the check comes and then you say, hey, let's split it 4 or 5 ways, and everyone takes out their phone, and what do? You start Venmoing, you start, right? The way that, and in that dinner, one check, there could be 6 or 7 transactions that are going on at all times, right? What spurs economic growth in this country is the movement of money. So having payroll stuck in this biweekly, semi-monthly cycle, well, that's not how everything outside of work, operates. And so I think more and more what employers are finding is, okay, this is a table stake benefit. And Brian, you mentioned it too, right? Like on a lot of job postings, you can now search for earned wage
Really?
access. It's making them
Wow.
competitive in the marketplace. So I think as you think of how our economy works, how growth happens, and what table stake benefits are, like the 401k was years ago, I think, the archaic semi-monthly, bi-weekly, I think that's going to be a thing in the past. And I think people are going to be used to getting their money on a regular basis.
Yeah, me and Walt just bug out about how it's going to impact payroll. It's like, how are we going to, how is the reconciliations going to be? It's like, but it's more to come, right? And that's for us to, like, those are the fun challenges as we grow in this, right? And see how that goes. Because I agree. I think we were just talking about it before this, like, a few weeks ago, because me and Walt actually talk about this when we're not even recording. Payday's going away, and it being daily and things like that. So, and just right away, we were just like, wait a minute, but what does that mean? And we'll see. You know what I mean?
I think it's
So,
still going to take a lot of time. It's not going to happen overnight.
no,
And
not at all.
I think this earned wage access industry is going to be the bridge to that. But again, we're still so far from earned wage access being the norm.
Yeah.
Like, it's just going to be over time. But yeah, one day for sure, that's the case, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody's going to have paydays every day. Why wait?
Yeah, well, right, exactly that. And then, and it's interesting because a few years ago, I had a leader go to some, industry conference, and they came back and was like, "Hey, Brian, do we have earned wage access? Can we get this?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, "Well, because people are recreating their pay cycle to weekly from whatever they have." And I was like, "Oh, okay, interesting." So, again, it's impacting. I feel like it's more of a common conversation now than it definitely has ever been. But
Well, one of
okay.
the reasons, Brian, sorry to interrupt
Yeah,
you,
no, that was it.
what these organizations are seeing is because of the economy, because these people are, dealing with it, employees will actually call out to go work at DoorDash or at Uber or
Yes.
something that they can get money that day
Yep.
and actually miss. And what we see is actual data that shows employees will call out less and work more hours
Yeah.
because they have this benefit. They don't have to call out and go do something else
Right.
if they have access to the pay they already have.
That's another one. Wow.
People are seeing
Call
those things.
outs.
It's amazing.
Wow, man, you guys are killing it with the data points. I love it. So, what, we want to take the next one? Last
Yeah.
one?
Yeah. So next for Rain, what issues are you working on that could reshape the pay landscape as
Yeah,
we
I
know
think
it?
I'll just share. There's a lot of stuff on our product roadmap, and I got a chance to see that recently. And the big thing is, like, we know financial well-being is workplace well-being. So
Yes.
what our goal is to, yes, we have earned wage access, and like I mentioned, plugging those holes, but to really give that holistic approach and more engagement, more education, more
Yeah.
gamification.
Love that.
Even then, it's like, how do you really incorporate into all of that when they are struggling, so it becomes something that they actually use and get better? So what's next on our actual app is having much more of a holistic financial wellness look and feel. There's some new things that are coming on there that employees will easily be able, because you also have to keep it simple, right? You
Yeah.
can't have it where
Sure.
it's complicated for them or
Oh
more
my God,
Mhm.
structured.
yes.
So we already have one of the simplest apps there is to use. We're just going to take that simplicity and tie it to all the financial wellness that we could offer for our employees that use it from the employer organizations.
I love it, man. It's funny because I had an
Awesome.
employee
Awesome.
tell me recently, I'm like explaining them what they needed to do to solve a problem, right? Oh, I was like, hey, click here, click there, boom, oh, done. And they were like, nah, who wants to do all that clicking? And I was just like, so it's true. It's like
True, man.
people just want it frictionless, right? They just want to there now, here, and it's so true,
Mhm.
man. I love that. So, folks, guys, man, thank you so much again for joining. I hope that you continue to come back. This is your home. You guys are welcome anytime. Before you go, we have a quick game that we like to play called This or That. You could pick one, the other, neither. Just something to have fun with, real quick. This Walt dropped this as a movie edition. Walt, you want to start them off and I'll finish it up?
Yeah, I'll do the first three. So The Untouchables or Godfather 1.
You guys are gonna laugh at me, but it's neither for me because that like not movies that I'm into. You guys are probably gonna laugh. I don't know. I'm weird about movies. I love a lot of movies, superhero movies, all that kind of stuff. But like, those are
No
like some
gangster
old schools
flicks.
that I know, and I don't even remember if I watched them. Probably.
I was just gonna
I
say,
told,
Walt, this might be a age deal here, but go
Yeah.
ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say
Oh, I'm telling my age. My
I've
bad.
never seen The
Oh,
Godfather, but my dad made me watch The Untouchables, so I got to go
no doubt. There
Untouchables.
we go.
Okay. Okay. All right. So this might be an easier one
Maybe.
then. As Batman, for your Batman, would you prefer Christian Bale or Michael Keaton?
I think I like Christian Bale. Again, probably age thing, but
Okay.
up to all the Christopher Nolan ones were just they were done so well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Christian Bale for
Yep.
no
sure.
doubt.
Okay. And my last one is a football movie, Rudy or Remember the Titans.
Oh, Denzel,
No
remember the
doubt.
Titans
Yeah.
all day, all
That's a
day.
great one, man. I got my kids on that one. I was like, that's like a
Yeah.
must see. Like, you have to see this one. All right, here's another. Inception
All
or
right.
Tenet? Oh, here we go, show.
Yeah, see, these are the movies I like. I enjoy Tenet more. And again, maybe it's because of Denzel's son, right? Like he's a great actor, and even Robert Pattinson in it. I just liked Tenet probably
Okay.
more.
Aaron?
Okay.
I got to go,
No
Chef.
doubt.
Good, both
Love
of them
it.
are good.
Alien or Predator?
Oh, man, you guys are good
It's
with. All
Walt.
right,
Walt is
okay. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. I saw there was a Predator that just came out. It was a.
Oh, I
Yes,
gotta
it
peep
was
It
so
that.
was so
good.
good. So I
Oh,
gotta
I
go
gotta
with
peep that.
Predator.
Last one,
Yeah.
and this might be only if you have kids. Inside Out or Toy Story?
That's probably the hardest one out of all of these. Man, and I really like Inside Out, just like as an adult, such an
Me too.
amazing concept, right?
Yep.
And even Inside Out too,
Yep.
going through
Yep.
like
Me
community
too.
and stuff.
Yep.
But Toy Story is such a classic.
The first one
Literally,
too.
my
Yeah.
daughter, my 8-year-old, has been on a Toy Story kick. So we
Yes.
watched 1, 2, 3, and 4
Yes.
literally last week.
Yes.
And it just gave me like what
Wow.
another great concept of toys. So
Yes. No.
but I'll probably go Toy Story.
No doubt. No doubt. Well, guys,
Okay.
that's it, man. That wraps it up. Thank you again for joining.
Happy
Okay.
to chat, and I'll just say as we kind of wrap up here, guys. Like, obviously, I've been following you guys for
Thank you.
years.
Thank you.
I told you the first time we chatted, like, this is such a need in the marketplace where payroll pros and people like us can just get information, can learn about the
Yep.
latest and greatest, can share things out. I think what you guys are doing is
Thank
so
you.
important. I'm so excited to see you guys' growth. Please keep us in mind, right? Obviously, our company's gonna promote you
Appreciate
guys
it.
and promote what you're doing. Just believe in it, but just keep going because you guys are doing
Thank you
great
so much,
things.
man. That keeps us.
Thank
That's
you,
our
Aaron.
currency.
Appreciate it.
We'll get fans of the show reach out and like, I
Mhm,
love what you're doing. Keep doing. And payroll pros, like that's been our currency since day
mhm.
one because it's been a passion, a labor of love, man. Thank you so much, Walt. You're gonna end us off on this quote of the day.
Yep, yep. The quote of the day is by Franklin D. Roosevelt. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our
Word,
doubts of today.
word up. Love it.
But
Thank you, folks. Till the next time, we love you. Go out and engage, follow, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, tell them about Rain. Go check us out on LinkedIn. We're all over the place. And until the next time, folks, we love you. Peace.
Peace.